Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Peter Abraham. I'm a second career registered nurse specializing in advanced illness, specifically those that qualify for either palliative care or hospice care. Those are two separate services. I'm also a certified end-of-life doula through the International Doula Life Movement and one of their part-time instructors. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit. In this channel, we talk about things related to death and dying. After all, we're all going to die. Shouldn't we plan for what type of death we would like? I'll have videos for my fellow hospice nurses dealing off either with admissions or case management, recertifications, and so on. I'll have videos for my fellow holistic nurses, caregivers, as well as end-of-life professionals, for which I am one. If these are the type of videos that you like, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification below, and like the video, as it does help my very small YouTube channel with the YouTube algorithm. The topic for today's video is going to be a trade show I'm participating at on Monday, August 18th, where lawyers will be providing free last will and testament. Those instruments, legal instruments, that when somebody is dead, what happens to their estate. So I'm going there to represent, I'm the only end-of-life doula there. I'm going to represent what should you be doing before you're dead, such as advanced care planning, aka living wills. What do you want to have happen on your journey to death, especially when you cannot speak for yourself? I'm also going to be talking about my other related services, such as doing wellness checks along the way if you happen to be in assisted living or personal care, vigils for those last hours of death, and so on and so forth. Now, normally we would take a pause to go over a gratitude area, but because I have my wife helping me going over some of the instruments we're going to be using at the trade show, I want to move things along, and this is also for your benefit as well. So one of the things that we have going on, and I'll give you a link in the description below, this is called a table runner. It is 24 inches wide by 72 inches long, depending on how you measure width and length. The side that hangs in the front of the table is the logo for Compassion Crossing, or a saying that I have developed to, what am I about, along with my contact information. And then the other side has the offerings, except for wellness checks. And now my wife's going to go off and get the back part, the tablecloth portion that we're going to have. I'm going to be on an 8-foot table, and she won't be able to do, none of us are wide enough to go, here's 8 feet, or would the camera be able to capture that. But this is something that the cloth itself, we just picked up at Walmart, and then, and let me just get out of the way so the camera can focus appropriately. I love my wife dearly. She doesn't like to be in pictures or video, but she took the opportunity to sew. There's actually 3 butterflies, but she took the opportunity to sew some butterflies on the tablecloth that will be the back setting. Thank you so much, dear, for that. So we have, that's our table, so our tablecloth, the table runner, and then I have with me, I'm going to be taking 2 different brochures. These are not yet folded. So these are not yet folded. So there's brochure number 1, and let me just hold a whole stack. So I have a client testimonial, my contact information, QR code that, and getting ready to start. And then on the back end, this is what I refer to as my senior brochure. So we're focusing on advocacy, navigating the healthcare system, end-of-life planning, emotional support. We bridge the gap. This is my senior version. So we're going to have that, and again, it will be folded in brochure format. And then we have my other brochure. It's going to be looking very similar, but one of my sayings I like to have, contact information, again, with the get ready to be start. And then what's different about this one is on the back, what to expect, our current service offerings, and back to the testimonial. I had several, but I really appreciate all of my loved ones that I've cared for tug at my heart. That's one where there was a very special, unplanned, unanticipated ending, where the person's had a near-death experience, said 2 days when queried about it, and I'll put in a link to the description below, but when queried about it, it was like he was in bed surrounded by a multitude of people, young and old, of various ages. He only remembered the name of a child named Max, but surrounded by people. And then off in a distance, but not too far, was a stairway going up into the sky. And there was lights coming down onto the stairway. And there were angels going up and down the stairway. So he said he got out of bed and waded through the people. And in his head, he's doing this. His fiance was saying he was doing this in bed and he never got up. But as he shared a story, he got out of bed and he's going like this, hands raised, and he's walking towards the stairs. And then a voice comes out from above. Stop! You must repent to enter. 2 days. And then silence, and he woke up. And he did die 2 days later. The other thing I'm going to be bringing with me, again, a stack, makes it easier to handle, but planning for more than just a will. Remember, I said this trade show, the people that are going there, I was told yesterday, thank you, Helen and Donna, that's putting this together. I was told yesterday that there's going to be like 38 to 40 people getting their last will and testament done. So 38 to 40, and there's 20 of us operating tables. So there's the potential for 60 customers from a point of view. I mean, we're all dying, right? I mean, it's everyone there, including the other people at the table, other tables. Like Century 21 is going to be there. Jackie Tate. Give me one moment. I don't have a list of all 20, but we have Sandy Adams from Century 21, help with the estate sale, could help with whether it be a farm home property. Joshua Williams from the Farm Pro Bureau is going to be there, talk about asset protection and protecting the legacy through life insurance. Helen, I love you dearly, but I'm still learning how to pronounce your last name. Bukulmez. From MOMMA BEAR Injury Law. Helen, even though I struggle with your last name, I don't have a proper way to say how grateful I am to you. Even before this event, even before you helped secure me a table, I met Helen, the Donna Angel with the Berea Small Business Development. She had wasn't a trade show, a workshop for small businesses that I went to. I forget whether it's January or February of this year. And she, oh my word, so gracious. And Helen was there like a little bumblebee pollinating the different areas. And it was all about, how do I uplift you? How do I work with you? She is just a bundle of energy looking to help everyone that she connects with. And to be honest, Helen, I'm 62, I've not encountered somebody like you in my life. And you are such a blessing. And so Helen's going to be there representing MOMMA BEAR Injury in case anyone's injured, whether it be car, medical mistake, any type of injury. But Helen, just so that those of you, my viewers, she is a strong proponent of legal immigration, and so she really works with others to try to get them here legally. She's also a professor at one of the universities, and she takes on interns, and she's so invested with just helping with the community. There's Misty Lake for Misty Lake's coaching that let me see here, how to do time and priorities. I'm just, in case you're wondering where I'm looking, there's a letter that's going out about who's going to be there. She mentions me. She mentions Jackie Tate with a Long Action Company. And Jackie's also an artist, wonderful. And all these people, they're beautiful people. There's Donna Angel with the Berea Chamber. And there may be other vendors. I don't know if it's going to be all 20 or not, or she just picked a handful of people that she put this email at. But this event is happening Monday, August 18th, 2025. I am filming this before the event because I'm going to be there early. My wife has been gracious enough to come and help me set up the table. We're still working on what type of healthy snack we're going to have for people. And then I'm going to be sharing, even though I have the written material, I do want to share what is an end-of-life doula and why do you need one outside of somebody reading it. We're so misunderstood. I'm going to get to the gratitude portion, and then we'll end. This will be a shorter video, but we are so misunderstood. A lot of hospice providers, at least on the corporate side, I think the nurses and the social workers and the chaplains get a better handle on us, but I think those who are in the office, they don't know what to make out of us. We're not your competitors. Palliative care, we're not your competitors. We're part of the continuity of care. And in fact, one of the beliefs that I've come to support, wrap my arms around, is that if anyone is in one of the anchors for continuity of care, it is end-of-life doulas. I like to call ourselves life transition coaches because in the best case, which is what I'm trying to do on the 18th, is let's do your living will. Let's talk about having your advanced directive done so that if you can't speak for yourself, your wishes are well documented. You don't know what tomorrow brings. And let me take a moment of your time, and I do thank you in advance. A lot of people don't understand that advanced directives can be extremely, extremely detailed. It's not just about DNR, do not resuscitate, versus CPR versus do everything, but you could be very specific. You could say, for example, I don't want to have any surgery that results in a TOMY. That's an opening. So a TOMY, like a tracheostomy, is a TOMY. So I don't want that. Ileostomy is a TOMY. Don't want that. Colostomy is a TOMY. Don't want that. Nothing against it for those people who go down these routes. But there are certain things that if I'm heading towards the end, and you can clarify in your documents, you could put on if this is temporary, I'm okay with it. If there's a chance that I may have X number of years, I'm okay with it. But you could have that, if the clinical judgment is this is only going to buy me a year or two, you can say no. You can be very detailed. What about pain management? Some people will say, I don't want to deal with pain at all. I don't care if I'm using their words. I don't care if I'm a slobbering fool, put me out, and I don't care if I'm drooling on myself. I don't care if I'm peeing and pooping, I don't want to deal with pain. Knock me out. You have that right to say that. Or you could say, I just want enough pain medication. And on the receiving end, by the way, this is hard to do, but I've done it. It can be done. But I just want enough pain medication that allows me to participate. I don't want to be knocked out. Or under these circumstances, I want palliative sedation. You have the right to be a part of that. You have the right to be a part of that. So having those advanced directives as complete as possible, or let's go down and I'm going to move on. But what happens when you get dementia? A lot of people forget about this part because there's a portion of dementia where medical professionals struggle like crazy struggle. not insane struggle, but like, are you competent enough to make your own decisions? And it could be a lot of professionals are afraid to say you can't. So guess what? In the real world, you can't, but they're afraid to say that you can't. So therefore, you're allowed to, and yet you're messing things up because you really can't, but no one's putting down their foot. Well, in your advanced directives, you can have that on the moment of diagnosis, your power of attorney has the right to override you. You could put in words that give the system, so to speak, power to do the right thing for you. So these are very important topics to discuss. And if you're a special interest group, some of which I literally don't understand, but maybe you want certain things clarified, you have those rights. Don't assume that somebody's going to understand them or honor them. Put it in writing. That's the whole process of a complete advanced directive. And yes, I have a book on it, and I'll put it in the description below. But this is something that we could do as doulas. We could do it well, and we can update it and work with you often. And then as you're going through your journey of life, and oh, maybe you're struggling with pre-diabetes. Can we help? And just as an FYI, not every end-of-life doula is capable of answering yes to every one of these questions. That's why, just like you do your homework for healthcare providers, you should be doing your homework for end-of-life doulas or life transition coaches. For myself, because I am a registered nurse and I have a background in it, yes, I can guide you on what could you do dietarily, what other choices could you be making in life to work on prevention and healing. Not everything here is a pill or a prescription. What's this journey look like? Or if you get to the part where I was helping a combination of a friend and somebody that I worked with, I did some training for their organization. Uh, what if your loved one, somebody you care deeply about, they're struggling with dialysis and they just, they had some surgery done and they're really suffering, and is palliative care an option? Or I helped a fellow end-of-life doula in Nelson County, Kentucky. What palliative care is available? So if you make these connections with us, with those of us who are in this field early, and if we're making the connections early, that's the best case. Because then as our friends, and I'm using that from a loose perspective, some of this will be free for some and some will be charged. I don't know. For me, I do a combination of both, whether it be sliding scale, outright donation, or here's my hourly rate. But, somebody that is walking with you, that's not giving up on you, that is willing to stay the course for the entire journey until you take your last breath. Your personal special person who will be there for you, will advocate for you, who will fight for you. And I'm not talking this, but I'm talking that this person that I worked with just a few days ago in Nelson County, she's been advocating for her special person for well over a month now. We're not ones to give up. We're not the ones to say that there's nothing more that can be done. I'm not saying that we're going to have all the answers or all the ideas. We're not God. We don't replace God. We can't. But we are going to be there even if we don't have the answer. We're going to provide that space for you. We're going to listen. And just give you that space. So this is where we're going to come to a close, and I do want to go over, I mentioned that for all my viewers, I like to work on one of the three pillars. I believe there are three pillars in building resilience. To me, pillar one is faith in Christ Jesus. I'm not preaching to you, I'm telling you what my pillar one is. Pillar two, that I do believe is a universal pillar, or should be, is forgiveness. And that's been a struggle for me in 2025. work on it several times a week, if not daily. But gratitude, something I believe we could all work on. What are you grateful for? So here, uh, I love my wife dearly. Uh, we've both been having an interesting week. She wasn't feeling well yesterday, and I'm struggling from yesterday evening through today. She thinks I have the summer cold. I don't know if it's allergies or that. And but I'm grateful that, like, even throughout all this, she's loving enough and willing enough, because I was saying, how do I show you that tablecloth and how do you show you that table runner? And she was wonderful enough to say how, oh, she'll hold it. She just doesn't want to be on the video. But I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for you, my viewers, especially the ones that keep coming back. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the ones who buy my books. The other day when I was on I forget what type of Google, oh, it was our life planning class with Pam Carter, where Michelle Stewart was kind enough, and I buried the book, kind enough to point out that this book that I'm building a 16-week, at least 48-hour class on for January of next year, she rated this book as a 10 out of 10. Now, I told Dr. Andy, who I was on the phone with just a couple of days ago, talking about hospice and palliative care, that I'll have people give me reviews on my various books on Google Meet, on Zoom, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, but it's very rare for me to get them on Amazon. Oh my. But that doesn't change my gratitude. At least I know that they're helping people, that they're of value. And so I'm thankful. I hope you have a good day, and bye.